Right. So my name is Joji Philip. I work for Ericsson as director of AI and ML. Essentially, my team, we work on AI ML proof of concepts and innovations that are essentially tested out as ideas that could be implemented within our products eventually. And we create prototypes and POCs and then demonstrate to our product teams that this is the way to implement AI and ML within our core products, which is basically the radio access network business, the core network business, the transport network business, and the OSS BSS business. Right? How can they take AI and ML, the advancements that we have in the AI ML space, which is now with generative AI's advent and agentic AI's advent? How do we take all of those advancements and implement that in our products to service use cases for our customers and deliver value to them? So that's kind of what I do, like what my organization does. In my spare time, I love hiking and going out in nature, just, doing things outdoors for the most part. That's kind of what I do during my weekends. My favorite place to hike is in San Francisco in the Muir Woods area. So there's a hike up Mount Tamalpais, and that's kind of where I've gone more than usual. Then there is a place out there called Slide Ranch. I go there quite often, actually, at least once a month. I've been going there. I mentioned something called as agentic AI. I think that is, if you notice, most companies that have innovated in the generative AI space today, which is, let's start with OpenAI, which came out with the GPT model, and almost all of us, I'm hoping you are using ChatGPT or you're familiar with ChatGPT at least. That is something based on a technology called LLM, large language models. And now OpenAI is getting into something called as agents. So they've made this agent called Operator, which they recently released, right? In my industry, there'll be a lot of work that happens to service use cases that are related to management of telco networks, that are related to fault isolation and repairs, that are related to identifying where customers are churning out of, where should investments be focused on, how do we understand when a problem occurs, what the root cause is, what is the best solution to apply, how to detect fraud, and that will evolve towards where these agents that are individually servicing various different kinds of use cases and connecting to the network and extracting information and distilling that information and then providing intelligence to human engineers and people that manage the network, operate the network, or take decisions with regards to the network and customers for these telcos would be able to use it as assistance to start with to make their job more efficient, make the network performance better, make the customer experience better. So I feel like the next uh, couple of years, there will be a lot of focus in creating telco specific agents and having these agents collaborate with each other with assistance from human experts and engineers to manage networks with a certain degree of autonomy. And absolutely. And that's the part I was telling you earlier that at least in the initial years, especially when a telco network type of use cases, I don't see how we can let the AI completely run by itself autonomously. We will have to monitor, we will have to have those checks and balances where when a decision is taken, let's take a simple example of an issue happens in the network and somebody has to, there's an agent that looks into that issue, goes through a dissection of, okay, why that issue happened, basically does what we call an anomaly detection, and then eventually does root cause analysis. It'll, get data from multiple sources in the network and is able to do, collate all of that information, perform root cause analysis, then determine what the solution is, and then actually go ahead and take an action based on the recommended solution, right? So at every point, I can see that there will need to be checkpoints. I mean, at a point where the anomaly is detected itself, there should be a checkpoint which actually determines that, okay, that anomaly was actually an anomaly. Then I think they provide a good amount of value. I mean, I can see just from what I have seen within Ericsson with solutions and use cases that they're enabling, that it's of high value because we use a lot of tools. We have a lot of different sources that people use in terms of documentation. Everybody wants to sort of quickly get answers to whatever task or work they're trying to execute on. Anything that helps with that, especially something like this with all the diverse set of information sources and tools that we use, I think it's of high value. It will make people a lot more productive. Now, if it is just going to be a search, I mean, there's been different search solutions, right? But I mean, I don't want to simplify it as just by saying it's a we're looking for a good search solution. What we are really looking for, or companies like us are looking for, is essentially going through all of these documentation and actually providing answers to people when they ask a specific question with regards to whatever they're trying to execute on.